congresswoman stood to applaud
What a mistake.
support protecting women's spaces and
Boo!
sports at the president's joint session to Congress last night, as you articulated.
How is that
mentioned
possible?
at the beginning. So I'm wondering, what message is that sending to
What the
not
fuck is
only
that?
young women
It's
who are
a
competing in
Catholic
sports across
tradition
the
called
country,
Ash Wednesday.
but also to the parents of these young girls?
Yeah.
I think the message that Americans should take away from last night is that they
It's
have a
before
president
Easter.
in the Oval Office who is committed
We
to
did this,
doing what's
like, I
right for
did this
them,
growing up.
especially women and girls across the country. And I think it's very ironic, thank you for bringing up the point about women, that Democrat women were wearing pink to support our fellow females, yet they couldn't stand, again, for a young woman who was almost killed and severely injured by a man on the volleyball court. They couldn't stand for the mothers of two beautiful young women whose lives were taken tragically at the hands of illegal people. So you can't say you're the party of women and then support men and women's sports and not stand up for basic law and order and immigration reform that will protect women in this country. That's what President Trump is doing. He's the president for women. Lindsay, good to see you.
Caroline, good to see you. So,
Lindsay.
speaking of tariffs, China
Lindsay.
says they're ready for any kind of war with the U.S.
What are you doing?
Because of these tariffs that have been placed on them. And the Chinese spokesperson also said that the tariffs would not lead to a resolution of U.S. concerns about fentanyl originating in China. Can you speak to how the administration is planning on responding to that?
Well, I think Secretary Hegseth has responded to that this
Well,
morning.
stories on the
He
sketch.
said that America
I don't
will
know.
always be prepared to defend itself, especially under the leadership of this president in the Oval Office, and that certainly remains true. Again, when it comes to tariffs, the president has been very tough on China, not just now with 20%, and more with the reciprocal tariffs that will hit on April 2nd, but look at what he did in his first term. There were billions of dollars worth of tariffs that he implemented on China, and it's quite telling that the previous administration did not rescind those tariffs because they realized the value
So I gotta come
that
from
they
this
had
side?
in not only deterring
Is that what
China,
it's saying?
but also raising revenue here in the United States. Rachel.
Thanks, Caroline. Just a quick follow-up, two quick follow-ups on tariffs. The president mentioned a little disturbance during his remarks yesterday. The CEO of Target says that consumers will likely see prices go up on everything from strawberries to bananas to avocados. How long should Americans expect to pay higher prices? Are we talking a week, a couple of days, a few months?
Forever.
Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but what I can assure the American people is that this president and this administration is doing everything they can.
That's just the way it is now.
Remind you and everybody else in this room that it's because of the previous administration's economic policies that Americans were left with record high inflation. Inflation throughout Joe Biden's entire 48 months in office was at or above 3%. It hit record highs, as you know. And there's a whole list of what the Biden economic disaster this president was left to clean up. It's been a month, but he's working hard every single day to do just
Quick
that.
follow-up on the carve-out. Sorry to cut you off there. The U.S. is just for Canada and some exemptions when it comes to automakers. What are the end including for eggs, prices going for Americans?
People really...
We got people with this one too.
I didn't know that many people ate eggs.
Everybody's upset about eggs.
Crisis in this country, the president is wholeheartedly committed to ensuring we're increasing our egg supply and we're also bringing down costs. Secretary has been all over this issue. She comes from an agricultural background and family of farmers. She wrote an amazing op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. She has a real plan. The president endorses it. And
There is power in this object. I can feel it.
Brooke, I'm counting on you. It's an important issue. And this White House is working with Secretary of Agriculture.
I'm gonna die. I already fell. Oh, just by the way, this is.
I love how like biased these questions are. It's so funny.
Senator Elizabeth Warren and said that, again, as I said in my speech, it's very telling that the Dutch refused to clap for American people and American interests and American priorities, but they did clap for the country of Ukraine, which, by the way, the president's working very hard to end that war. So Democrats should be applauding him for actually doing something about it.
Follow up on that if I can. You've spoken recently about how what happened in the Oval Office last week Is this how he treated Joe Biden and just treated him disrespectfully and received billions of dollars.
Well, it's a very interesting question.
How would she know?
I don't know if anybody here asked my predecessor who stood at this podium about that, but there was a report from NBC News that President Biden also got increasingly frustrated with President Zelensky when he was handing out blank checks and President Zelensky kept asking for more. Joe Biden was quite frustrated with that. So again, as I said repeatedly, Friday revealed the frustrations that this administration has had in closed-door negotiations.
Yeah, they probably
with
get mad as fuck all the time.
President Zelensky did put out a statement yesterday, which we believe is a positive step forward. And National Security Advisor Mike Waltz has been talking to his Ukrainian counterparts. And so we're in the midst of this, and we'll see what happens next. Caitlin.
Thanks, Caroline. I have two questions. One on the reprieve that is being granted to these three automakers for 1 month on the tariffs on Canada and Mexico. How did the president settle on 1 month?
The reciprocal
it's 1
tariffs will
month.
go into effect on April 2nd, and he feels strongly about that no matter
That's
what.
the reason
No
why.
exemption, so that's why it's 1 month coming.
Yeah, obviously.
Does he expect them to be able to shift production within a month?
He told them that they should get on it, start investing, start moving, shift production
do it.
here to the United States
Got
of
it.
America, where they will pay no tariff. That's the ultimate goal.
Wow.
And on the conversations between the White House and the Ukrainians and the letter that President Trump revealed last night that he got from President Zelensky, Director Ratcliffe said today that the president is part of the intelligence share in Ukraine. Is that temporary
That's
or is that
interesting.
permanent?
I believe what the National Security Council told me in regards to that was that they paused or they are reconsidering the funding for Ukraine, as you saw, the pause in the funding. As for intelligence matters, I would refer you to either the National Security Council or the President.
Lifting or reinstating the military aid going to Ukraine,
Garukan
which they paused.
favors
Again,
me.
it's a pause for a review. Sure.
The president read parts of the letter that he received last night from President Zelensky. Can you give us a sense of when President Trump now plans to sign that middle deal?
Today.
Those talks are
Today, it's gonna happen right now.
I just saw the National Security Advisor.
Never mind.
He's working very hard on it.
That's what I did last
time. To give the president an update on where this stands. But again, the president is committed to a peace deal. He wants to see this war end. And I think that President Zelensky's message, which he also shared on X as well, is a positive sign in the right direction.
The president also said that the United States
Victory is mine.
reclaiming the Panama Canal.
That's right.
The president of Panama this morning, or at some point today, said that President Trump was lying. Wanted to be
No, he's lying. No. No, he's lying. We're
not specifically mentioning BlackRock last night.
What do you
when
mean?
He was praising the company that is buying canals or ports around the Panama.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Panama has seen what's going on with their own canal, but as you just mentioned, BlackRock is now interested in investing and taking.
They don't know it yet.
Which is very important because the president was very vocal several weeks ago about the need to ensure that China is not controlling the Panama Canal. This is a
You might not know it yet, but
place for the United States of America. We also saw that the Panama Canal lifted fees on our U.S. naval ships that are going in and out of the canal. That's a win for the United States of America, and the president will continue to ensure that the
Big win.
Chinese government, the CCP, cannot be infiltrated in the Western Hemisphere, and certainly
like
not
Charlie
the Panama
Sheen
Canal,
winning.
which is a very important place.
Can't let China beat us.
Continues to call the Prime Minister of Canada the Governor of Canada. I'm curious what he means by that.
What do you mean? What does he mean by that? Everybody knows what he means.
Trying to make Canada the 51st state. I have a follow-up on
I can't believe they're actually asking
That
these
is
questions.
his True Social account. True Social post earlier today. He feels strongly that
Oh,
it
wait,
would be
he did
very
it again?
beneficial to be the 51st state of the United States. They wouldn't be paying for these tariffs. They'd have much lower taxes if they were part of our great country.
Caroline, on the economy, you and I traveled
Let me
the country
see.
during the campaign. This is an issue that so many voters decided to cast their ballots on, and they voted for President Trump. He hasn't started to have that realistic conversation with the American public. But I'm curious if you can be real with Americans right now as all of these factors are playing out. All things that
He did. Of course they will.
I've been asked and answered this same question, just given to me in different verbiage of 3 different times, and I will answer it again in an effort of transparency to the American people, because this is an important issue, and the American people, this president understands that it is. And again, that's why in his joint address to Congress Congress last night, he addressed this issue with a realistic and honest approach. He talked about what this administration is doing to unleash American energy and to make America affordable again, and this administration is wholeheartedly committed to doing it. And I would remind the American public that the first-term record of this president speaks volumes. That's why they reelected him, because they know that he can fix our broken economy, and it's very, very broken from the previous administration. Stephen.
Thank you, Caroline. I've got two questions, one on press access, the other on fentanyl and tariffs.
What's up, Travis?
Press access, your predecessor, Karine Jean-Pierre, who presided over many novel press access restrictions, criticized the recent changes to the press pool made by your office. She said in an interview,
I didn't get a notification.
what we're looking at is what North Korea is doing.
Trying to shut me down.
What's your response to that? And can you say anything to allay concerns that unfavorable coverage will be punished in this new press pool system?
I think that's the same individual who said from this podium numerous times that the commander-in-chief was mentally and physically up for the job, which we knew was a lie. Many people in this room knew it was a lie. Many of you were admonished for asking questions about that truth. So when it comes to truth and transparency, this administration, this White House is setting the example. This president is taking far more questions than his predecessor, Joe Biden, did on a daily basis, and that will continue.
And on fentanyl and tariffs, fentanyl produced largely in China has killed 334,000 Americans over 5 years.
That's a lot.
According to CDC data, that's about 1 in every 1,000 Americans.
That's 0.1.
President Trump has cited this for applying new tariffs to Canada, Mexico, and China. But in addition to
tariff them all.
being ready for
More tariffs.
said yesterday, the Foreign Ministry said
You get a tariff. You get a tariff.
issues
You get a tariff.
excuse to raise U.S. tariffs and quote, the U.S. not anyone else is responsible for the fentanyl crisis. So what's the response to China?
Everybody gets tariffs.
The talk of fentanyl is just an excuse
Fuck
for tariffs. And
That's
what's
it.
that say
That's
about
for yeah.
President
Fuck
Of
you.
course, the country that is getting very rich off of distributing this deadly poison to American citizens is going to say that. Again, the president knows where the American people stand on this issue. Fentanyl overdoses. Dasha brought up all of us campaigning all across the country. They talked about inflation. They also talked about the border, the illegal immigrants that we're pouring through, but also these deadly drugs. And again, the president keeps in mind those families every single day when he is making these tough decisions. But it's a necessary decision, and he's no longer going to allow the United States of America to be a dumping ground for illegal
You get a
immigrants
tariff.
and for illegal drugs that are killing our nation's people.
What happened
This
to
is the
illegal
number
alien?
one leading cause of death in our country, and there needs to be
Number what?
action taken to
What was
ensure
that?
that cannot happen. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see
Yeah,
you
they
later.
gotta use it. Oh, there it is. Man, how about that? Yeah, it's about what I would expect, right? You want that, huh? I think it's a good, like, in my opinion, I think the illegal immigrant versus illegal alien, like, using the language of, like, immigrant, I think it's an intentional misleading, right? It's intentionally misleading. So, yeah, that's what I would say. Not really a big fan of it. It's not a big deal, but alien is dehumanizing. Well, it's not just like, I mean, why? Because they're, like, I mean, call somebody a criminal, is that dehumanizing too? I don't necessarily think so. I think it's
What are all these things?
right? It's not really a human or not a human, right? It's just that simple. But anyway, we'll see what happens, right?
Who's that red pig?
It's a weird word for it. Well, you know, using the word immigrant's not really a great one because they like to conflate the two, right? Legal immigrants with illegal immigrants,
There you go.
right? And so, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that alien's like a beast, like a non-human thing. I feel like that, you know,
Christ.
there's been a lot of terms like that used over the years. It seems fine to me. But, yeah, it's way too much logic. Yeah,
What is happening?
yeah, I don't really see it. But anyway, when are we gonna have a game day? I'm thinking about a game day gonna be today. We're like, I got the Hunter rank 40 and Monster Hunter. I got everything ready. I haven't done any of the new
Rank
fights
40?
because I wanted to save them for stream.
Bastard.
And so like we're gonna cook and we're gonna do that shit later on today. But like right now, we're just gonna go over a bunch of different news and everything and go through everything else. And so yeah. To read the correct description, yeah, I think that's the way you could see it too as well. And Supreme Court ruling for USAID. Yeah, the Supreme Court ruled that they had to maintain some of the funding for USAID, not all of it. That's my understanding. And so they're trying to figure out why or what the reason for that is. I haven't really looked into it a whole lot, but that's what they said. Yeah. Will we ever have a transmog contest down the road? Will I ever do
What's up,
about
Randy?
2 billion. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, Elsprin for it. Well, I don't know why they made the decision. I'd have to read and see what the justification for it is. So before I'm like, oh, this is a good decision or a bad decision. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's just, you know, in my opinion, I don't think that the USAID was like the money was being spent very well.
Seems like so quirky.
At least according to what I read. But
Snap's quirky.
Overall, I'd wait to see why they're doing it before I would get upset about it. So yeah, and I'm not really surprised. BlackRock bought the canal. They're incredibly rich. I doubt they have good intentions. Yeah, like if you're a private company, like there's a limit of like what you can do, right? Trump's going to deliver a speech on Ukraine in about in 3 minutes. Well, the thing is, if he's going to do that speech, it's probably going to be in like that French shit, right? So like, what do we even know? I mean, how do we even know what he's saying? And so like, yeah, it's not going to be in America. So if he does it in American, then I would listen to it though, for sure. And not to support Trump, then you can do anything you want. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying like that's my viewpoint on it. That's how I see it. The ruling is just money pre-Trump presidency. Everything else after is still taken off. Yeah, I don't know exactly about everything. So yeah, any plans on doing the Shame Awards? Well, I had a meeting today, and like that was like kind of tangential to it. But we'll see kind of what happens with that. I don't know yet. But yeah, private company BlackRock has more military assets than most countries. That's probably true, actually. You're right about that. Yeah, BlackRock's a really big fucking company. What about John Stewart? I don't know. I mean, like, again, there's usually like 50 things people want me to look at, and I'm not really sure what I'll have time for each day and which ones I won't have time for. So, like, from my perspective, I just try to do whatever I can and go over what I need to, and then just go from there, right? I think that's the smart way of doing things. Yeah. The Summer Shame Awards? I don't know when I should do it, right? Maybe I should do it next year. I have no idea. It's hard for me to make plans and do stuff because I'm lazy. That's my biggest weakness is that...
I haven't had any issues. Oh, shit. I didn't even know I looked at that.
If I was not lazy and I just wanted to do more stuff, and I say I'm lazy, but I stream every single day. The problem is that also, like, because I'm streaming a lot, like, a lot of my, like, energy goes into streaming.
What's up, bitches?
When I finish streaming, like, you know, if I stream 10 hours a day, okay, well, you know, I have to sleep 8 hours a day, so I've got, like, 6 hours really that's, like, remaining, and, you know, what else really am I going to be able to do with that? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Lazy about certain things.
Yeah, what's up?
I do try to stream every day for sure, right? Because that's my prime directive. And then other things after that, it's going to be hard for me to do this year. And what was his lifetime ban? No warning, no appeal, 24-hour account suspension. Yeah, I think that the VTuber stuff is really weird too. Like, whenever these VTubers started getting like suspended for like what they're wearing, I don't understand like where the logic is there. I don't get it. I feel like Twitch has like these really. I think that their rules about sexual content are so stupid. And I think the reason why they're stupid is because Twitch doesn't want to accurately look at what the problem is, right? Because like this VTuber outfit, right? I mean, let's just go and let's look at, you know, you look at ASMR and it's a bunch of girls. I mean, are they wearing something like that? I mean, this girl's kind of wearing something like that, not really. Like all of these, like basically, the way that I look at it is that there are a number of people that make content on Twitch, and the goal of that content is to, it's to basically generate sexual gratification, right? It's like people watch this because they're horny. And that's fine. You want to do that, that's totally okay. But like, let's not go and act like this isn't what's happening. And so I think Twitch doesn't want to call that out because they're afraid of like, I don't know, it being seen as like, you know, like them shaming women or something like that. But in a general sense, I do think that it's silly, right? Why is it that women can wear this in real life, but cartoon characters can't? It's stupid. I mean, like, let's be honest, it's just stupid. And so, yeah, I don't understand it. Was it the outfit? Did the girl look underage? I mean, there's plenty of people that have, like, looking underage, like, I feel like there's a huge issue that, like, I think that
oh, you guys trucked under that.
The internet has with, like, anime characters
what is this?
Underage. Like, there's a lot of instances, like, for example, like, Jotaro is, like, 17 or something like that during Stardust Crusaders. And, like, Jotaro looks like he's 30. And so, it's kind of the same thing as, like, Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? And he's 16? Yeah, it's 16 or 17, right? I forgot which one. And that's in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's an anime. But then you have other shows where it's like a
far down
like the grandma in what's the Dan, right? She's like supposed to be 70 years old. She looks like she's like 30 or like, you know, like 35, except for having gray hair. So I think that the problem is that a lot of people just kind of, you know, they kind of paint with a really broad brush. And I think that really when you see somebody who's trying to sexualize a character that's meant to look like an underage person, I think that the most important thing you should look at is not the boob size or like the hip size. The main thing you should look at is what the proportions are of the character. And I think that like that's really the big difference to me and the differentiator to me. And so, yeah, because I think that a lot of times like you just have like these, like I would say like, I don't know like really which one would be a good example of this. But yeah, that was my point exactly. Yeah, this character doesn't look underage. It's not it. But I think there's a lot of disingenuous, you know, people talking about that. But yeah. And why we're streaming on Asmongold again? Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I don't know. I am an American against Donald Trump. Oh my God. And this sums up everyone sitting down tonight's speech. I'm an American against Donald Trump. I'm the American majority. I am a retard finder. I found you. This account has gone crazy on Twitter.
It's fucking hysterical.
And so let me see if I can pull this up and show you guys. It's really funny. So basically this guy made an account and it's called Retard Finder and I find retards, and all they do is reply to people and say something like I see you. Like look at this right here. I'll go ahead and show you. Let's see, found one. There it is. Found a tyrannical retard. And let's see here. That's a lot. And I was right. Yep, and there we go. We got another one. And let's see. I'm going to start framing these. And expert sources just revealed you're a retard. And basically, what I find to be so funny about this is that it's so effective. It's been so massively fucking effective, and they just keep doing it. It's like I certainly noticed that they're all on my radar. And if I just scroll down, found one, just... and even Elon Musk is like tweeting about this shit. It's fucking hilarious, man. So many people take the bait. Yeah, this account is like one of the new funny meme accounts on Twitter. Like, I'll see these pretty regularly, and, you know, like, I think that a lot of, like, meme and gimmick accounts are cringe and stupid. But this one, to be fair, I do think is funny. I have to admit, I think it's very funny. Did he ever comment on yours? No, not yet. It will be an honor. Jon Stewart got famous for this. A lot of people have gotten famous for calling other people retards. And if you want to look at my WoW raids, maybe you could say I was one of them. I'm so glad the term retard is being used regularly again. There's a few others we need to bring back. I completely agree. And I think that in general, like, people are... there's like a general fatigue of just being...
Fucking TikTok doesn't like the word.
You can and can't say. People are tired of it. It's annoying. I don't want to have to listen. I don't want some random person on the internet telling me what I can and can't say. Like, what is this, right?
No one wants to listen to that shit.
And so, yeah, found one. Exactly, yeah. And Retard Finder doesn't need to say any more than that. Yeah, exactly. I feel like my vocabulary is healing. Yeah, my vocabulary used to be very, let's just say I was a really big gamer, right? And, you know, like, I had a very, very colorful vocabulary. But now, you know, it's nice to have a few of the words back, right? I mean, absolutely. And, yeah, over replacing acid for asshat. I'm not a big fan of asshat. I feel like asshat is always a word that's used by Redditors. I don't like that one for whatever reason. So, yeah.
Where is it?
Lost a popular vote and thinks he's the majority. That's how, I guess, some people think about this. I don't know how that works. And I already have seen that 10 times. Gaming memes first bastion has been banned from Reddit. Is this what happened to this? Admins did it again. What were they posting? I literally just
so did they try to game states I need an update? What?
Retarded mods run every subreddit and ban everything. No, it's not the mods. So
you want a PlayStation or Xbox or computer?
Reddit is not the mods. The mods are a symptom of the problem. The actual problem are the people that are running the website.
Oh, Xbox. What's his name?
Like
Ramy had the same thing. Same problem.
Admins and you only had mods, then you would effectively just have a free-for-all, right? And everything would be fine.
What server do you log into?
Mods are being backed up by the admins. And that's really where the issue comes from. Everything else besides that isn't really too big of an issue at all. So yeah. And to be fair, the sub was posting TOS shit all the time. They had to chill out a bit. Yeah, I just think that a lot of people don't really give a shit about the, what do you call it? Don't give a shit about the TOS, right? All the lefty people can have subs for rape, porn, death threats.
Oh, it doesn't even open.
Conspiracy theories. Well, I don't really see this as a problem, right? I mean, but otherwise, and even like a hate subreddit, I think that's fine. But you know, you either have all of them or none of them, in my opinion. I think the problem, I don't think people have a problem with like the hate content.
Does the Xbox load up fine and everything?
There's only one category of hate content that's allowed. So like, if you want to let hate content be on the platform, great, go ahead, let it happen. But if you're going to do that, you need to make sure that it's everybody who's able to do it, right? And not just one group of people. TOS equals tired of this shit. Yeah, exactly, right? And yeah, let's see here. That's fair. Have either have all of them or none? Yeah, exactly, right? And let's see here. When we don't have to game together, but we react as much as possible. Look, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, man. Like I would chill out, right? But yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Leftist woke subs can get away with saying anything, of course. I think that like Reddit does have a huge problem with like not banning, you know, violent actors. I've said this 100 times, so I don't think we need to go over it again. What is this here? Oh, I already looked at this yesterday. Last nail in the coffin for physical games. New U.S. tariffs will impact consoles, GPUs, and physical games. Oh my God, they're gonna use this as an excuse to make video games $100.
Just trying to watch
it. This is it. This is what they've been waiting for. They're gonna make video games $100, and they're gonna blame it on Donald. That's it. Wait for e-tariffs? I know, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they're making chips in the UK. Yeah, you didn't notice? I can't believe this is bullshit, man. What is this? Physical games? Yeah, imagine that. When was the last physical game that you purchased? My last physical game I purchased, I think, was Legend of Zelda: The Link's Awakening for the Switch, like 4 or 5 years ago. Monster Hunter World? That's a while ago. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Metaphor ReFantazio. Okay, so we got some people. Damn, there's actually more people that are buying physical copies than I would have expected, actually. Yeah, it sure seems like there's a lot of them. Yeah, I buy all my Pokemon physical. Really? They sell those? Really? Wow. Yeah, I didn't know they had those. That's crazy. And yeah, Devil May Cry 2. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Damn. So why do you guys buy new ones?
Yeah, I don't see nothing about. I don't see nothing about it on Twitter.
To build the world's tallest building. That's a good question, right? Yeah, that's actually, man, that's an interesting way to look at it. I never thought about it that way. But yeah, you're kind of right, isn't it? And consultation, yeah, cheaper labor. Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you have slave labor, things are really cheap, right? You can save a ton of money if you use slaves. But, you know, I don't know if they did that for this or not. But maybe they did that for Grand Theft Auto 6, too.
That sucks.
Knows, right? Marketing?
Can you play it?
You're right. Just a reminder. Oh, God. What is this? Bullshit propaganda by another Russian.
Can you play anything else on it?
It's the Turkish flag representing Islam. Post apologia says Muhammad's 15x worse than Hitler. Spreading hate speech. What is this here? Communism, socialism. Why is communism?
Did you turn it on and off?
And then Islam is a bunch of people dead. I mean, here's the thing: is like every religion has a bunch of crazy fucking people that do bad shit.
Can you Control Alt Delete?
I mean, I don't really think this is. I don't know why so many people are reporting this. Like, how is this? You can criticize a religion, guys. Like, that's not a bad thing, really. I mean, even if you.
How you like a Monster Hunter?
I mean, you've got to have a free platform to criticize the religion, whether it's Christianity, Islam, Scientology, or Buddhism. Everything deserves criticism. Nothing is immune from criticism. It's not like one religion. Yeah, now do Christians? Oh, I'm sure Christians have killed a bunch of people too. Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody knows that. Like, fuck, everybody. Yeah, no religion has a monopoly on killing a bunch of people, right? And so, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just some random post, but yeah, I know people get really butthurt about this, but it's alt-right nonsense. Labeling Nazis as a socialist? What is this here? Oh, socialism. It's, well, I mean, to be fair, wasn't like National Socialist Party. I don't know, but either way, you know, Nazi wasn't socialist. Well, that's the name though, right? So people are gonna have that. People are gonna have that opinion. I'm not even saying that that's right, but like obviously that's why people are going to say that it's socialism, because that's the name. So yeah. And as much as Scientology is bad, they probably have the lowest body count. I don't know. I mean, they probably don't have that many people involved with them either. So it's you know, really like what are the proportions is what really matters.
I played the beta.
Right? More than anything.
Beta was
NATO
fun.
expansion was never justified.
I haven't got the game
never
yet.
Russia did in Ukraine, Georgia, and Chechnya. Here's why.
I don't know if I'm gonna get this weekend or not.
What is this here? Yeah.
I've been watching other
that's
people on
true.
Twitch play
Let me
it.
see here, and is this the hill they want to die
It
on?
looks good.
67% of Democrats. So what is this here? And transgender athletes should not be allowed to compete in women's sports. So total is going to be 80%, Republicans 94%, and Democrats 67%. Wow, what a surprise. The obvious thing that everybody knows is true. And is this the hill they want to die on? 67%? It is. And they are dying on this hill. This is why they all wore pink to like celebrate women and, you know, like talk about how important it is for women. And they don't want to have you know, women protected in women's sports. Very interesting dynamic there, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know what to think. And can you show a Democratic politician that's fighting for it? Well, I mean, wouldn't you just be able to look at the people who didn't vote for it? Right? So, like, if you had a bill that's, like, basically making this illegal to do or, like, you know, remove funding for this, couldn't you just look at anybody who didn't vote for it or voted against it and say, yeah, well, those are the people that are for it? Yeah, they had a vote. Right? And so there you go. And so all of them voted against it. Yeah, exactly. So, like, I mean, it's literally that simple. I mean, that's very easy to decide. And Governor of Maine, yeah. Didn't Republicans not vote on veterans bill? I'm not sure exactly. I have no idea. But yeah, don't forget the local Democrat. What's a woman? Well, I don't know about that. That's like some fucking movie or something like that. But either way, I do feel like this is probably one of the worst hills to die on. And I think that the more focus that people have on this, the more that they're going to lose the average person, right?
There is power in this object. I can
Is it women's sports DEI? No, it's not. It's not DEI because it's a separate space for
It's a big hand.
DEI would be if women competed in men's sports and they got an automatic handicap. That would be the difference. So yeah, no, but it's a funny
It's a big
question,
looking
right?
hand.
And so I was like, this is an interesting thought exercise. Is this true? It's obviously not, but like, why isn't it true? You know, so yeah. WNBA is DEI? Well, it's subsidized by the NBA, yeah. Subreddit used to be fun, now it's gone down. What's this here? And asmongold the mod should make a new subreddit for politics so sub can go back to normal. What is this here? Is this I'll check and look here. Is this a WoW player? No, it looks like it's just like some random. Oh! This might be, hey guys, it's a Canadian.
Oh. Canuck in the house.
You know how it is, right? I mean, hey, right? I mean, you know what's going on here. Yep, everybody knows it. You know what? Instead of calling them Canadians, we should call them future Americans.
It's the way I'm not doing
Does that sound better? I think that sounds way better.
I'm not doing the wide stream. I'm doing the vertical,
Yeah,
so it's like easy to see on a phone.
Forward thinking. Yeah, call them future Americans instead of Canadians from now on. It's a great idea. 51st staters. Yeah, I don't know. I think future Americans sounds better.
If you go on Twitch, you can see a full stream on Twitch.
What is this?
80s item every night. I eat it with barbecue sauce. And I flew to the moon last night with a witch. And I took DMT with Easter bunnies. Now that's an example of being crazy. I mean, this is art. And I'm not saying what I do politically is art, but everything is an art form. But everything is an art form.
Yeah, it's like the best I can get around that.
Oh my fucking god, this is funny. Yeah, there it is. Wow. And there it is, right?
Oh, it doesn't work.
And accurate, yeah. It's crazy how much weight Alex Jones has lost too recently. Like I've been actually kind of shocked about that. Yeah, and damn. It's my uncle for sure. You think so? And I love Alex Jones. Yeah, he's very fucking entertaining, right? I mean, it's definitely fucking entertaining. What is this?
They did an experiment with a group of women.
Is this the facial scar?
They put scars on their faces, and they told these women.
Yeah, listen to this. This is interesting.
They did an experiment with a group of women, and they put scars on their faces, and they told these women that they're going into a job interview, and the purpose of the experiment is to find out whether people with facial disfigurements face discrimination. They showed them the scars in the mirror. The women saw themselves with these scars, and as they led them out of the room, they said, we're just going to touch it up a little bit. And as they touched it up, they removed the scarring completely. So the women went into the job interview thinking that they are scarred, but actually being their normal selves. And the result of the experiment is that those women then came back reporting massively increased level of discrimination. Indeed, many of them came back with comments that the interviewer had made that they felt were referencing their facial disfigurement. And this is why I think this ideology of victimhood is so dangerous, because if you preach to people constantly that we're all oppressed, then that primes people to look for that.
Absolutely. I completely fucking agree. It's so obvious, right? It's so fucking obvious. You create a reality. Yeah. It's like once people start expecting that, then that's all they see. Absolutely. He's completely fucking right. And, yeah. So females are crazy? Well, I guess, you know, like, I would say that, I'd say guys are crazy too. But then do the experiment without removing the scars, though? Well, the difference is that, obviously, like, it could be the same, but the perception is usually more important than the reality. And I think that people, when you go into something and you're looking for a problem, you're going to find
It's laggy on Twitch, is it really?
That's what a lot of these people do, is that they go into it, they're looking for a problem, and guess what? They succeed. They find the problem, and they figure out that they're upset or mad or something like that. Humans are pattern matching machines. They are. And so, yeah, it's literally that simple. And what's this here? They probably had another group with actual scars. Yeah, sure, definitely. Confirmation bias. And I think that that's the way that a lot of people that like always have these issues with other people, like that's their problem. Is they go into it with the confirmation bias and you know, like a self-prophecy.
Do you have Twitter?
So yeah, it's that simple. Looks like Asmon was correct yet again. Wow, what a surprise. Which one is this? Disney introduces a Christian character after ditching transgender story. Yeah, this isn't really a surprise to anybody. I'm sorry, but these corporations will turn to support terrorists if that would make them more money. Yeah, they would.
Divine.
They absolutely would. That's 100% true. In hell, Disney makes a Christian character. It'll be just New Age slop, but people believe in Jesus. Peace-loving hippie. I don't know if they will or not. I think that really if they do it and people don't like it, then they're going to try to do what people like. Right? I mean, ultimately, it's just that the calibration of what people like.
Discussion is not laggy. I guess.
It's really just that simple.
Do you have Twitter?
Character equals terrorists. Well, I mean, in some cases, yeah. Well, my point though is like it is. I think it's true. These companies don't have any like actual values. All they do is they follow the money, right? And so if they think that there's more money in, you know, paying lip service to LGBT, they do that. If they think that there's more money in, you know, paying lip service to Christian values, they do that. They don't give a shit. Right?
If you go vertical with
and the point
TikTok,
is that, like these companies, a lot of these people are like, oh yeah, I want these companies to have
shrinks everything.
They don't. And if they align with you, including right now, if you're a Christian, if they're
like even worse
you,
than
they're only doing that to get your money. They're not doing that because they finally realized the error of their ways. They're not doing that because they finally decided that they're going to turn a new leaf and be good people now. No, they're only doing that because now they want your money and they think that there's more of you than there are of the other people. It's just that simple. Yeah, don't forget what they supported before. Yeah, it's really that simple. Yes, chapters, Christian terrorists, stop acting like your religion's perfect. I think that a lot of people use religion to do bad things. Nobody has a monopoly on that. I know everybody likes arguing like, oh, this religion's worse, that religion's worse. It's very simple. All religious extremism is bad. There it is. It's all bad. So what do we even need to talk about? What do we need to think about? Yeah, I feel like it's so fucking simple. And, you know, that's it. It's a fun time. Yeah, exactly, right? And Christian terrorism.
So the thing, like, the more you bring it out,
you know, didn't George Bush say that God
like you
told
can't,
him that he needed to attack
you can't like expand it this way and this way. It all goes at one time.
I think
the
that's a
bigger
little bit
it is,
interesting.
or
If
the
you're
smaller
using
it is.
God in order to tell you to start a war, yeah, I don't know, man.
Like it doesn't.
Is that terrorism? I think that if you're doing something based off of like God telling you to do it, and that something is bad, then yeah, I would say so. And yeah, it's that simple. Let's see here. Young girl files a lawsuit. What is this here? Against public school system in Connecticut, awarding her an honors diploma despite her inability to read or write. Wow. I guess this girl must have gone to my high school. That's interesting. Yeah, we had a lot of these people. There were tons of people that graduated my high school that just, I don't even think that they knew which year America was founded. They didn't know anything. They're just dumb as fuck, man.
It's like the
Yeah,
biggest I
they
can
dumb
get
as fuck. That comment? Yeah, a bitch said I'm
Ricky
retarded, so
Christian
why
said,
y'all
"How you
giving
make
me a
my spark?"
diploma?
Oh.
Well, the reason why is so they don't lose federal funding. That's the reason. And so, like, I remember at my school, I had a friend, Jeff. Jeff would skip school every single day to come home early to play WoW. And eventually, he skipped AP English so many times that they made him take, I'm not even kidding you, he had to take the special ed version of the final exam of English, and he got a 5.0 GPA out of that class because of that. They gave him AP English 100 because he just completed the final exam. Jesus Christ, that's right.
This.
Do you want to know the worst part about it? Is that I helped him with the final exam. I did. He took it online. He was sitting literally right there. Right there next to me. He was sitting on that fucking sofa there. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it sounds like Bowie. It was not Bowie. And but I thought Bowie was actually a pretty good school.
The gloves,
compared to
boots,
ours.
and
But yeah.
headpiece
and,
on.
she's looking for accountability in
They're
her
just
lack
kind
of
of pretty
education.
normal.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking retards here, you know. But it's that simple. And stop glazing yourself. Well, I mean, the fact, like, I was like 20 at the time, right? Because I was 2 years older than Jeff. And so, like, me helping him and figuring it out, like, I feel like I didn't really need to be a wizard for this either, right?
The gear's not too much.
No, he helped you. You got to witness Jeff's genius. Yeah,
it's
you're
not really
right,
that
man.
great.
And copy the homework, but change it a little. He didn't even do that. What is this?
Celebrating 8 months of gym consistency.
I gotta get rid of this shit.
She lost 37 weeks. Her favorite machine in the gym is the vending machine. Did she wait outside? Did she spend 8 months at a buffet? 8 months of what? 8 months of dilly-dally. Before and before, no changes in her body's tally.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck. I got no more room. I gotta clean shit out. Like, no room. What rings?
Man.
They're both, see that one?
Oh my god. Dude, some of these
Just regular
TikTok
breach rings.
videos are so
They get a lot of
cool.
mana. That
Like,
one's got
I'll
200.
read
The other
some of
one's pretty much the same
the
one as this.
replies in the comments.
It's got
and it's just all
another, yeah,
people
200
talking
mana.
mad shit, man. And it is. What do I flamer? I don't think that
Nothing
it's
really
that big of
special.
a deal. Like it's a little bit mean-spirited or rude. Like I think it's fine to just think it's kind of funny, but you know, if she's going to the gym, that's nice. But some of the comments are still funny, right? I mean, it's still funny. And there it is. It's rude. Yeah, it's rude but funny. I think that's fair. Turns out all we needed was a new president.
My damage is only,
here we go.
My damage is only 52,000 on my spark. It's not that much.
New legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Man, this was a fucking circus. Oh my god, people are going apeshit about this. Yeah, they're booing, and especially, dude, what was really funny about it is, like, the Democrats, like, the people over here with all the, like, the pink suits and everything, at the beginning, they had so much energy, and after Trump said anything, they're like, boo!
What level are
you? No, you didn't! No, wrong! He's lying! No, boo! And then, like, after, like, 15 minutes, I feel like they kind of just got tired.
78. Oh, I'm like 90.
Yeah, and
91.
like by the end of it, they were just like, yeah. Okay. Yep. Right. Holy shit. What time is it? Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, they're all 160 years old. I know, man. Some of these clips were really fucking funny, man. And they couldn't stand that much winning. Yeah, probably Sergeant Arms probably told them to shut up or get kicked. That's possible. And the little signs, too, were so funny. And me after throwing the biology test. So stupid. Oh my god, gonna go hard to convince the gay homie to do this with me? You think so? Is that it? These Monster Hunter mods are okay. Is this a set in Monster Hunter? Is it? Yeah, I don't know.
Holy shit.
Die forgotten.
No, yes, nobody knows. That's impressive, man. It really is.
That was impressive.
And yeah, DLC.
Oh, you haven't gotten it?
She's pretty much naked.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's why we're watching it. Fucking idiot.
I just did mine.
Yeah, why do you think it's here? Why do you think we're looking at it? That's the
just-
whole point.
I fucking.
What do you mean? Ban this guy? Yeah, this guy's a fucking moron. Who is this idiot?
I did mine at like 80, 88. I did my last one, and then I was playing on TikTok, and someone came on TikTok. He's like, "Why do you have only 20 points?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You only got 20 points in your skill points." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's all. That's what I thought they all were." I'm like, "I thought it was only 20 points." He's like, "You're missing 4 points." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Really?" And the Boston Act 2 on each of them, and the regular and the cruel. One of the bosses I forgot to get.
Somebody made this.
And I went back and did them. I was like, "Holy shit! I was missing 4 points the whole time."
And to just get people riled up. I'm not expecting or believing that this is actually happening, right? Like, letter was retarded.
Are you in maps? You're in maps now, right?
But don't worry, there's still time to get out before the resale value crashes harder than Twitter. You bought your Tesla in good faith. It's not your fault, but now the best move is to leave it in the past. Before, the new buyers were after alt-right influencers and guys who say actually free speech.
Did you get one of these things?
Act fast.
Omen of amelioration.
Amelioration. People out there that think this way. It is. Why is everything political? I don't know. Like, I mean, it's very weird. It's so weird how people get such, like, these, like, weird...
This is another thing. This thing right here, like,
brands, as if, like,
guy the other day just told me about that. I'm like, I didn't even know it existed. He's like, "Yeah, what are those things?" So you don't lose all your EXP, because I was like, I've been up to like 91%. Almost level, and then died like 5 times, and all my fucking experience is gone. Then I like just shut it off and don't play it for like 5 days because I'm so aggravated.
Super liberal ice cream company. Do you think I give a fuck about that when I just get a thing of Ben and Jerry's? No.
Yeah, look at it. It's in the currency shop.
That's it. So yeah, and yeah, people definitely care. Oh, there are people out there who do care. You're right, but there's not a lot of them. There's not. It's just a handful of really loud retards.
It's a consumable, so when you die, it goes away. You gotta buy another one.
You know, just kind of looking to start trouble. And yeah, you're wrong. Check the stock. Well, do you really think that Elon's stock is going down because of that, or is it going down because they got rid of the electric vehicle mandate, and maybe Tesla isn't doing as well as they thought it would? And also, like, the stock for Tesla got pumped massively. It got pumped insanely after Trump got elected. And it was totally overvalued. So I don't know.
Didn't break a sweat.
Yeah, and I'm sure the entire stock market is down. So I don't think that's really a fair comparison. Personally, I don't think so. So yeah, was Bud Light not a political thing? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the Bud Light thing made them look bad, but there's plenty of people now that probably get Bud Light and they didn't even know this happened, right? I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, the problem is that when you're buying something that achieves a function, like, for example, a car or, like, you know, food or something like that, you're going to decide what you're going to do with it based off of its function. And so unless the car starts up, like if every single time a Tesla car started up and it played Donald Trump, you know, saying "Make America Great Again," I think this would affect Tesla sales. In the same way that, like, you know how, like, I say woke video games. It's fine if you want to be a woke developer, but just don't put it in your fucking video games, right? And so this is the same thing with Tesla. You're not going to have people that are going to get upset about the product unless the ideology is seeping into the product. Does that make sense? That's how my Tesla starts up. Yeah, it plays YMCA or something like that. It's the only thing it'll play on the radio. Exactly. So yeah. Tesla sales dropped 70% in Europe this month because of Elon, even though EV sales overall rose. Well, I don't know why things happen like that in Europe. I have no idea. I mean, I don't think I could really say, oh yeah, this is the reason, that's the reason. So I have no clue, whatever. And new model, wine, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, I have no clue. And so Chinese EVs, unless the car is bad, I don't call them. Yeah, exactly, right? And what's because of China? It's a lie? Yeah, it could be. Let's see here. Man. Not drinking that, yeah. Forgot which one that was. No purple weddings? Yeah, I guess so. It's in reverse? Yeah, that's fine, but it's still really funny. Western media has nothing on Japanese. What is this?
How fast does someone need to go to lift a woman's skirt? These people are testing if a scene from a cartoon can work in real life. First, a track athlete gives it a try.
Oh, nothing.
Way too
Jeez.
slow to lift the skirt.
Wow.
Next, they try with a motorcycle.
Oh, it can go down.
Okay, that's smart. That's even worse.
The motorcycle wasn't fast enough.
Checkpoint.
A Miata? Okay.
Stand, thank you.
Why? That was pretty close. Oh, wow. Oh my god, bro. Like, this is some Coomer shit. How did they do this? Is this on TV now? Wow. No, did the real thing? Yeah, I guess so. It's so fucking dumb. Yeah, it is. CBS instant poll of the Trump speech. What is this here? And Democrats have a massive problem. Let me see here. I'll pull it up and find it. Let me see where it is. Trump. Wow. Views of Trump's speech. 76% of people approve. Now, I am going to say that there is a selection bias of this. Because you would assume that a larger percentage of people that would not approve of the speech would also choose not to watch it or to discuss it. So this is a very important point of like any sort of testing or evaluation. Or care. Yeah, exactly. Like they're not going to care a whole lot. I didn't vote. Yeah, exactly. Still pretty high. And I'm not saying that the speech was bad. I honestly, I think the speech was pretty good. I would say the speech was like an 8.5 or a 9. Like it was a very, very good speech. Compare that to Biden's last speech. I'd have to compare it and see it for myself. But yeah, do it times correct. I didn't watch it. Yeah, exactly right. And true, but still numbers. You have to watch to make an opinion. Yeah, exactly right. But you would assume that people who liked him would be more likely to watch him, right? I mean, isn't that logical? The speech made you feel hopeful, proud, worried, or angry. 27% worried, 16% angry. They were the ones walking out. In speech, Trump was presidential, entertaining. So presidential and entertaining are tied at 74%. Inspiring, unifying, divisive is 46%. And does Trump have a clear plan for inflation? 68% yes. Man. So it looks like the tariffs are not very popular. The tariffs are the bottom one here. What people like or don't like. But yeah, I think a lot of people support the border, though. That's what I think is crazy, is that a lot of these positions are so popular, man. People are hate watching. I think that some people are, but I know that, like, I talked to a couple of people last night, and neither of those people are fans of Trump, and neither of them watched the speech. Whereas in a lot of other cases, they would be politically engaged otherwise. So all I'm saying is that I think that that's important to keep in mind because, you know, it's, again, data matters, right? And, you know, being... there's a big problem that people have where they just... nobody actually cares about, like, what actual statistics are. They just care about if their bar is longer than the other bar, right? And so that's the only reason I wanted to bring that up, because I think that's very fair to say. But, yeah, here we go.
To the results. What was your reaction to Trump's speech? 44% of speech watchers in our instant poll tonight say they had a very positive reaction to Trump's speech. 25% somewhat positive, 31% negative.
I would say that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
CNN.
positive or somewhat positive, putting that together, right? I mean, 44 plus 25, what is that, 16? Nice. 69% were fans. Wow, how about that? CNN's not happy? Yeah, and I would say a poll from CNN, that definitely does matter, right? I mean, absolutely it does. I think that's a really good way to look at it. Let me see. Okay, here's some more information about this. Okay. Their poll sample was 14% more Republican than the population before revealing.
And what we know is that people...
It doesn't even make any sense.
Fans or partisans with the president, no matter which party the president is in, tend to tune in more on speeches. And what we know is that people who tend to be fans or partisans with the president, no matter which party the president is in, tend to tune in more on speeches like this. And that's the case in tonight's survey as well, because...
that's what I said.
We were 21% Democrat, 44% Republican in this sample, 35% independent. That's about 14 points more Republican than the overall general population. So keep that in mind when you see these results of speech watchers. To the results, what was your reaction to Trump?
I think that there's a lot of people, like, I think Tulsi Gabbard and Elon Musk and RFK are, like, all examples of this, of people that I don't think aligning somebody as a Republican, like, there was, like, a huge pushback from other Republicans about Trump. And there were also a lot of Democrats that liked Trump, and all of those people that I just listed were people. So I think that, like, looking at it from, like, a party line perspective is not really a good way to see it.
Speech, 44% of speech watchers in our instant poll tonight say they had a very positive reaction to Trump's speech. 25% somewhat positive, 31% negative. How does that stack up against Donald Trump's previous addresses to joint sessions of Congress or State of the Union addresses? Look here, for all the years we have data for, 44% very positive reaction is actually his low water mark in all our instant polls after his previous addresses. You see in 2019, 18, and 17, he was higher in terms of very positive speech reaction. And what about to his modern day predecessors? How does this 44% very positive stack up? Again, it's the bottom of the barrel here. 51% in 2021 when Joe Biden gave his first joint address were very positive. Donald Trump himself was at 57% in 2017, and you see that Bush and Obama even higher than that. So this was not Donald Trump's best speech, but obviously still the plurality of speech watchers had a very positive reaction to it.
Yeah, a lot of people liked it, it seems. And again, like, I wouldn't trust all these data points or, like, this news or anything like that. CNN fake as fuck. How's Biden at 51%? Well, there was a lot of negative reaction to Trump whenever Biden took office. A lot of people were really angry at him. People blamed COVID on him. So I could see how people were just, like, tired of him and they wanted somebody else new. So I'm not really completely surprised by that. But yeah. They're all different? Yeah, no doubt. What's your trend on saving the people get expelled in the event for interrupting was a demonstration of dictatorship? Social networks are filled with this narrative. So that if you're disrupting the speech constantly and you get removed for disrupting the speech constantly, that now it's a dictatorship. I think that I know just the person for the job. I do. I think he's got his work cut out for him.
Still can't
Just
log
tell
in
you
now.
that. Yeah, middle school kid logic. I would even say that's a little bit too advanced. Yeah, it's just.
They didn't
fucking
even give you
standard
like
found
a.
one. Yeah, we got one right there. And yeah, it seems like a lot of people.
There hasn't been like a.
You know, of course. What do you call it? It seems like CNN.
Like a note or something. Like, hey, we're having problems.
CBS, right? And 69. Well, I don't understand this. Like CNN instant poll of Trump speech. What is this? Your original CBS article. The viewership was heavily Republican, historically President's Party. Baltimore is nonpartisan. This is no exception, and they liked what they heard. Yeah, that's true too. I think that a lot of people agree with him, 100%. And I don't agree with what he does. Something that we disagree with. They pointed a lot of bullshit that's been going on with the USA in the speech. I'm not even American. I was thinking, yeah, that fucks. That needs fixing. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the way a lot of people see it too. Yeah, they don't teach critical thinking anymore. No. So this is a big. So it's not that people can't critically think; it's that they don't want to. Why would you willingly critically think if you could just listen to something that you agree with and then stop thinking about it after that? That's really the solution, and that's what they do. So in a lot of these cases, it's not like, oh, well, they're not critically thinking, or, you know, they can't figure this out. No, these people will be like, this same group of people that would blindly accept this would be calling and like, oh, what's the sample size? What was the group who did it? And being hyper fucking specific and critical of a sample that was of something that they disagreed with, right? I think the fact is that people generally have like really hard confirmation bias. And all they want to do is consume content that makes them agree, or sorry, the content that agrees with what they already think. And so, yeah, media polls don't matter. No, and I think that really polling in general,
Didn't break a sweat.
any poll done by any mainstream media, like, I'm gonna be real, like, after the 2024 election, you shouldn't trust any of it. You shouldn't trust a single fucking thing they say. Because I think polling, so this is the problem, is that polling creates a confirmation bias and it creates a groupthink bias. So when people see that, oh, everybody thinks this, there's like a bias of like agreeance to that, where it's like, oh, okay, well, if everybody thinks this, then it must be true. So that way people accept it more easily. And I think this is a good example of that, right? And I think the polls for like the election are another good example of that. Is that you can just make people say that, oh, everybody thinks this, and, you know, with no data, sometimes that's apparently not the fact, right? It's the herd effect. Yeah, exactly. It is. And everybody has made this mistake, by the way. Even I've made this mistake myself. That's how I know about it. Well, they had Kamala winning. Yeah, exactly. They were totally off. China's bigly mad. If it's war the U.S. wants, be it a trade war, a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we are ready to fight until the end. Oh boy. So now China's getting mad about it too? I'm going to be curious if they do anything else besides that. Yeah, most people used to not engage out of politics. Yeah. And I actually think this guy's bringing up a really good point here, and I'll bring this up and look at it. Let's see here. Most people used to not engage in politics outside of presidential campaigns. Then woke took over and politicized everything in people's lives and what made people politically active. And now everyone is paying attention to politics. This is exactly what I think happened. Is that I think that most people weren't hyper invested into politics. And then as soon as politics became hyper invested into what they cared about, then that kind of brought them onto the team. I think that's kind of how it happened. I support this guy's claim. That's how I joined it. Yeah, that's how a lot of people got focused on it. Yeah, like unironically Gamergate, right? Like actually it is. And it's the same thing with like, you know, a Netflix adaptation where they race swap a number of characters or something like that. People see that happen enough times and they're like, this is weird. I don't like the people that are doing this. So yeah, it's that simple. Yeah, we just want to play video games? I guess so. What is this? The rise of Voldemort? The guy who never bathed, the moldering rat carcass is an alarm clock is making a lot of sense. What is I am now the one who will not be named. Yes. This is insane. This is, oh my god, good one. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And a lot of parents, yeah, I found this to be funny. Fault of personality, yeah, a little bit. But these are funny. Let's see here, play it. I don't know. I've seen so many of these like AI ones. I think that they do kind of tire me out, right? Bro, please. Okay, all right, fine. You guys really want to see it? We'll watch it. Okay. You're getting what you want. Gamers, the guy who never bathed could use a moldering rat carcass as an alarm clock. I am now the one who will not be named. Yes, it's crazy to me that this is happening. How has this happened to me? As I've said before, I never thought it would get this far. I always thought like, oh, I'd make videos and people will watch the videos. But like, I've got people that are just like, all they need to do is describe me just a little bit, and it's like, oh, everybody knows who that is. Anybody else? Oh my god. I'm Baltimore. A new Dark Lord rises. No matter how many times I hit don't recommend his channel, his face is still back on my homepage. So we're getting so many channels and so many people uploading content about me that everybody is like trying to frantically block my channel and trying to get away from me, and they can't escape. Because after they block all of the asmongold channels, that's curse. There's another one. There's a new channel. So much joy to know that you feel like your favorite hobbies were stripped away from you. You'll never get back what you think you had, and that's hilarious. Or is that the editors? Didn't happen. Oh, too bad, huh? Fake news? No, a ton of people said stuff like this back then. Oh god. People are very upset about gamers, etc. And it makes sense, right? Why you'd want to use games as like a method to like. Yo, Jadion, thanks for the subs, bro. Hope you're doing well. So, you know, if you're trying to get people to believe something, it's a really good way to do it. And what I think is really funny is that these people like I thought that
Oh wow. Are you serious? Look at all those. That's different.
Man. Voldemort, huh? Yeah, I still need to watch this video about that guy from the KKK or whatever. I never got
That's
around
my
to
thing,
that.
only 5,800.
Yeah, I need to do that. That actually reminded me. That was really fucking funny. I didn't expect it to be that good, actually. Especially, dude.
What do you want?
The new channel? Oh god. There's always another one, isn't there? Yeah, holy shit. JD Vance is speaking. Let me see. I'll look and see if there's anything that's going on with this. I don't know.
Oh,
if there is or not. It looks like. Oh, there it is.
Change that.
Border security.
And good to see you. We've got, of course, Governor Adams here. I'm represented by Representative Tony Gonzalez, who represents this area, and then our Secretary of State,
in Texas.
DNI Tulsi Gabbard, and I know we've got some votes in the Senate, but as I understand it, Senators Cruz and Cornyn have sent representatives here too. So we're grateful to all of our great public leadership in Texas. It's an important part of getting control of our border, and appreciate the press, but we're gonna have a private conversation, so let's get the hell out of here. See y'all.
What the fuck is this guy?
Alright.
Oh, he's way the fuck down there?
Hey, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, man.
That's crazy. I love it, man.
We're on the other side of the fucking map.
Based? I guess so, right? Yeah, GTFO press conference finished. That was the most prompt speech ever. Yeah, show up for Vance to tell him to fuck off. Yeah, I know. It's great. And, yeah, we're not having another Zelensky moment. Yeah, exactly, right? It's like you already had that happen once. It doesn't need to happen again. Okay, let me go back. I'll look at a few more of these too. Democrat politician or wow, oh god. I do think, so it's really funny about this. I don't know who this person is. I have no idea. But, I mean, yes, she does look like someone who will turn your mushrooms into potions in the middle of a swamp. She does. But to be fair, the only thing I've ever heard her say is that they wanted female crash test dummies and everybody was calling her stupid, but she was actually right. So I don't know if she's
There is
retarded or
power
not. I
in
have no
this
idea.
object.
And so, like,
I
really,
can
for me,
feel
she's 1 for 1. But, you know, it's a good idea. It is. Apparently it is. But, yeah, fraud in disguise, 50-50. I don't know. I don't know anything else about it at all. And Zelensky didn't sign that he had it banned. What is it? Dead soldier's phone. Russia-Ukraine negotiations, Zelensky negotiations, the whirlwind in 2025, the whirlwind this summer, Trump talks when, Trump stop war. This, I don't know. I feel like this is, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I see something like this and I don't believe it. I think this is just, it's just too convenient. It's too convenient. It's just too fucking convenient, man.
Artifact.
Like, man, what are the odds? What are the odds that, yeah, like, what is this? Now, I'm not saying maybe it's real, right? Maybe it is real. I don't know if it is or not. But I see something like that, and I think to myself, maybe it might not be. So, yeah, it's just to scare you? I guess so, right? Why isn't it in Russian or Ukrainian? It is. It's a translation. You can see. See how there's the obvious translation there?
Other attribute requirements.
So, yeah.
Melee weapons.
Let's see here. Breaking down where the U.S. aid to Ukraine went. What is this? What is here? Oh, you're supporting Ukraine because you don't want more war? It's a far-left brigade. Trump says the U.S. will take control. That's right. That's right. We will take control of Greenland one way or the other. So we're basically gonna get it. Right, we're getting it. It just depends on what it sounds a bit hostile. It does, and I remember whenever he said that, I was like, "Oh boy, they're gonna be talking about this a lot." Yeah, he's not a fascist to you? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, whenever, like, I'm gonna be honest, and I don't think this is really even a good thing, but like, I don't really take a lot of the things that Trump says very seriously. Like, he will say crazy shit, and then usually the crazy shit doesn't even happen. So it's like he'll make these turns of phrase that he shouldn't say. Like, yes, obviously it's like he'll say things almost intentionally to like kind of stir everything up and get people popping off, right? And yeah, people have no idea what fascism is. Holy fuck. I think fascism is probably the most overused word this year. I would say like the top 3 overused words this year. Number 1, fascism. Number 2, Nazi. Number 3... DEI. Yeah. Number 3 would be DEI. Yeah, I'll be honest. People use that. People overuse it way too much now. Yep. That grifter. Okay, yeah, grifter. No, that's just like on the internet. If there was a top 4, grifter would be number 4. So yeah, it's been 2 months, bro. It's been 3 months. Well, yeah, it has been 2 months. Okay. Well, in the last 12 months, okay. Trump is trying to pull a Zelensky on Canada, pretending we have no power to remove Trudeau, and we the people forced him to resign. For anyone who's interested, I also told Governor Justin Trudeau, who that largely caused the problems that we have with them because of his weak border policies, which allowed tremendous amounts of fentanyl. These policies are responsible for the deaths of many people. Justin Trudeau of Canada called me to ask what could be done about tariffs. I told him that many people have died from fentanyl that came through the borders of Mexico, and nothing has convinced me that it's stopped. He said it's gotten better, but I said that's not good enough, and the call ended in a somewhat friendly manner. He was unable to tell me when the Canadian election is taking place, which made me curious, like, what's going on over there? Then I realized he's just trying to use this issue to stay in power. Good luck, Justin. Oh, God.
I can't believe we're going all the way around this fucking place.
Is that it? First named? Yeah, I guess so.
Oh.
I guess, yeah, first name basis. Well, that's what he did yesterday, right? That's exactly what's happening. It's hard to say. And, yeah, the Canadians voted Justin in 3 times. So I thought he said he was leaving, right? And what is this? I'm putting my wife on the line. I don't know what this is here. PC Gamer doesn't like Expedition 33's demo because they're bad at it. Every attack can be dodged and parried, and it feels like Clear Obscure expects you to nail this nearly every time. Enemies hit hard with very limited healing, at least at this point. Taking damage isn't something you can just shrug off. But I really struggled to nail the timing. It often feels like enemy attacks are specifically designed to catch you out. It looks like a giant fist is going to come crashing down on you, so you dodge, only to discover the monster is still winding up. Lots of attacks force you to dodge and parry multiple times. In the case of a parry, missing one means you won't be able to hit them back. I think this is fair. I do. I think this is a fair criticism for sure. People like, cause making it like, there's an audience for turn-based games and there's an audience for action combat games, and these are two different audiences in a lot of cases. It's a skill issue, yeah, but like, there are a lot of things in video games that are skill issues that still would make the game better if it didn't happen that way, right? Like, just because, like, the solution to every problem with game design isn't to just get better at the game. Sometimes it's getting better at making the game fit for an audience. Mario RPG? Yeah, I would say so.
Says
But I don't know, like, as I said,
system update issue due to Xbox server maintenance.
Really promising to me. I really looked excited. I am very excited for it, so I'm gonna play it. But yeah, I don't know if this is really true or valid or not. I guess we're gonna have to find out. Monster Hunter is too easy. Expedition 33 is too hard. No one's ever happy. Well, the fact is that it's just different people doing different different interviews, right? I mean, that's basically it. Let's see here, and give me 1 second. I'm trying to look. Okay, we're good. We good. Demo looked promising. Yeah, I thought it did too. I mean, it looked great. Yeah, from at least what I've seen. Trans rights activists, what the fuck? Asmon would not approve of this? Yeah, I would. I mean, why would I not approve of this?
There it is.
Video cannot be played. Oh. Oh, okay. I can just search it. It's fine. Yep, not a big deal. Let's see if I get a longer video. Okay, here we go. Just hours ago, gender identity was successfully removed as a protected characteristic of the Iowa Civil Rights Act. Leading up to this decision, hundreds of trans activists filled the state capitol building in protest and said, "Fuck you, fascists." Senate passed 33 to 15. Less than an hour later, the House passed it 60 to 35. Damn. Wow, what a surprise. It's another fucking thing with shitty audio.
Oh, no. Fucking guys. Oh, these guys are in here? Hate these fucking guys.
Uh-oh. Oh. They're big mad. Well, they
There is
lost.
power in this object. I can feel it.
This is too complicated. Yeah, this is way too complicated. Must suck to be retarded? I guess so, right? It's sad.
Big mad.
I always wonder, like, where these people come from and they're able to just do this whenever they want. Yep, there it is. People wilding out,
Fucking green guys, man.
Don't these people have jobs? That's what I always wonder, right? It's like, yeah, where do they come from, man?
Yes,
And this is we already want, wait, no, this is, I remember this one.
Fucking green guys are brutal.
Yeah. Remember this? Remember that? That was a crazy day, right? Man, February 5th? Yeah, I already watched this before, man. And let's see if I find the rest of these. And what is the... this is all like way later on. And yeah, I guess this was like a few days ago. Nope, just a second, sorry. So like sex is a protected
Oh, they're
category.
fucking terrible, right?
Uh-oh. Well, it's over. Yep, it's over and it's canceled now. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it's canceled. Like, I guess that's just not what's gonna happen. I feel like, again, with, like,
Why is it just hitting us?
a lot of these people really overplayed their hands in a big way, and I think the average person doesn't really care a whole lot about being trans or not, but they do care about being told that they have to care about being trans or not. And I think that's what really radicalizes a lot of people more than anything else. So yeah. And there's no good games right now. Wow, there's no good games right now? Really? So you've already beaten Monster Hunter. That's great. It's good to know. And when are they deleting Dragon Age Veilguard? They're going to do that when JD Vance becomes president. They're going to make it illegal to play that video game. Yeah, instead of burning books, we're going to burn video games. And we're going to burn Dustborn, Dragon Age the Veilguard, World of Warcraft Dragonflight. Let's see, besides that. Oh, jeez. I think that's a good start, right? Yeah, there you go. Diablo 4, Concord. Well, they already did that. Sony did that for us. So, yeah, there you go. Let's see here. President Trump does something and antagonizes some group of people that don't like him, and the group of people say very spitefully, oh yeah, we'll show him. Then they do exactly what Trump wanted them to do. It happens over and over. It comes to superpower. I don't know exactly what Trump does. And yeah, let's see here. America's broken. Yeah, I might look at this later on. Let the memers or dude, this guy got pissed. I remember this yesterday. He was fucking mad. Let me see if I still have the clip of this, and I can show you. Where the hell did it go? Ah, fuck. Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's this guy. This guy from yesterday. Here we go.
Big mad. Big mad.
It's crazy how bad every single one of these is with audio. It really is.
To cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people. In their lives when it comes to their health care. And I want him to know that his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it. We need to raise the cap.
This is the guy that kicked out.
Security. There's a possibility that it's going to be hurt, and we've got to protect Medicare. These are the safety net programs that people in my congressional district depend on. And this president seems to care less about them and more about the number of people that he can remove from the various programs that have been set up.
It's a good question. I do think, like, randomly interrupting a speech and like malding out during it, I think it was like childish and stupid when people did it during Biden. And I think it's still stupid now. And it does make people think that you're a fucking retard, right? Who is fake? I do. I think that there's average people that are like, okay, this is weird, like, get the fuck out of here, right? It's disrespectful, yeah. Yeah.
Who uses his incivility against our civility. He is the person who has consistently been used incivility against civility.
No.
Anyone, don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid.
I think he's just trying to go on there and talk about it, right? Because he wanted to, and he didn't like what he said. Now we got to disagree, or we got to Mulder. What's this here? Trump is a dumb liar. Asmon's check. So how about the retarded right interrupting Biden? So then after I responded to that, he said, you have no fucking common sense. So I think it's bad to interrupt the speech and start yelling over the speech. Like, this is a productive way of doing something. Like, I'm not...
I got him.
Bro, this guy's mauling. Oh my god. Who is this guy?
I must travel light.
Jesus. Jesus, this guy's been getting mad for a while. How you been getting up? What are you coming in here every day for getting mad? What's wrong with you, man? Like, why are you doing this? You coming in here all the time, making yourself mad. Why would you do
5% damage as chaos damage per undead minion? That's a good card.
I'm just, it's confusing for me.
It's a good skip door.
Why would you spend so much time investing into getting mad about this over fucking nothing? It's so, where do these people come from, man? And he didn't even respond. He didn't even have anything to say for himself. Because it's like you scroll up. I think that a lot of people don't even understand. They don't even understand how they look. I don't think that they even have any self-awareness for this. You're going around typing this, getting mad, arguing in chat on a daily basis over nothing. This is we're gonna ban you. You gotta do something better with your life, man. This isn't good for you. It's not good for you doing that, man.
Chaos damage per
Yeah, molding as a hobby. What is going on with that? Yeah, what goes wrong in people's lives so much that they feel compelled to do this? I found one. Yeah, we sure did, right? I mean, that's a wild boy, isn't it? Damn, he's going crazy. He's getting mad, undiagnosed for 4 years, I know. And, Jesus, it's embarrassing.
You know, you'd think they'd send you something saying we're updating the servers or something like that, instead of just shutting the shit off, you know?
This is about the people who are being punished by virtue of losing their health care. This is the richest country in the world, and we have people who don't have good health care. We've got to do better. And now we're about to cut Medicaid, which is for poor people. Health care has become wealth care for many people, and we can't afford to let that happen.
Is that the only thing that you're protesting?
No, I have other things I'm protesting. And I'm also working on my articles of impeachment. This president is unfit. He should not hold the office. 34 felony convictions, 2 times impeached.
It's gonna be 3.
Victory is mine.
That he has no mandate to test the Medicaid.
That's what you were saying over and over. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying either, honestly. I had no idea. And it's the same guy that pulled the firearm to interrupt Congress voting? No, I actually don't know. I didn't see that when it happened. But yeah, he was fucking pissed, man. And yeah, there you go. Probably because there's special lights in the state. Yeah, it's that simple. Let's see here. And Asians math is easy, Europeans math is hard, Americans is math racist?
Oh, Jesus Christ, where do these people come from?
Oh, wow. I always wonder to myself, like, how do you get to yourself to be in a position to where this is in your position to be where you're at? You know what I mean? Only on Fox News? I guess so, right? He tried to impeach Trump during the first term. Well, maybe he can get it right this time. Yeah, math is so racist. I guess so, right? Man arrested for sharing his thoughts is...
How Catholics would realise how ridiculous this is. It is, of course, I'm telling
What did it need to come to?
Tell us why you escalated it to this level, because I don't understand.
What?
I posted something that he posted, you come to arrest me.
You got a permit for that tweet, mate.
You don't arrest him. Why has it come to this? Why am I in cuffs? Because there's something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your social media post. That's
not his.
why you've been arrested.
Bro, they got the... how do people over there, like, I mean, don't people ever think about, like, where's my tax money going? How is my tax money going to this? That's insane. How are people okay with their money going towards this? It's unreal. I don't even know what to say.
It's crazy.
Yeah, do you have any idea why people think math is racist? No, not really. I think that, like, it's like, I could come up with a hypothesis, but probably not. I mean, the thing is that, like, if I had a hammer, I could hit myself in the head a few times, then maybe I would understand why. But it's just kind of hard, really, to be sure. Yeah, we're the fascists? Yeah, well, now math is fascist. You're right about that. We already went through all this.
Okay.
Stop, tempo! Oké, voorzichtig.
Oh, dankjewel.
Wat is er gebeurd?
Hij reed door rood.
Je ran de red light.
Rood, wat is dat? We hebben een botbreuk overigens op het dus. Moet sneller. We zijn bij je, hè? Omhoog. Ja, heel voorzichtig. Stop, hou.
Wat?
Heeft hij dankjewel gezegd? Dat wij hier naartoe zijn gekomen. Heb jij dankjewel gezegd? Ik zei het net. Ik heb het niet gehoord. Dat heb ik ook niet gehoord hoor. Ik heb het nog gezegd. Ja. Heb je geen respect voor ons? Ik wil met ziekenhuis. Ja, ik wil.
Yeah.
Iedere dag.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, dat
take any longer.
It's
very hard for you.
Maar ja, hij neemt nogal.
I like how they play that. There's like the old bald guy that's like obviously the one in the wrong who's the bad guy, and he's wearing a black shirt. You know? They speak American?
Hey! Jij gaat niet bepalen wat hij wel of niet.
Yeah.
Als jij willen schreeuwen, dan schreeuwen we!
Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, it's still probably better than America, where they do this and then they also charge you $20,000.
Nobody knows this stuff better than me.
Nobody knows more about taxes than I do, and income than I do.
Nobody knows more about
Nobody knows more about campaign finance than I do.
I know more about
This type of technology certainly than I do. Nobody knows.
Guys, I think I think I actually might be the second most humble person. Oh no. Dude. Yeah.
I know the H-1B, I know the H-2B, nobody knows it better than me.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do. Believe me. I understand things. I comprehend very well. Okay? Better than, I think, almost anybody.
And by the way, who knew the other side of the picture better than me? I knew it.
Nobody knows more about
I knew.
environmental impact statements than me.
I understand the power of Facebook, maybe better than almost anybody.
Oh, he was right about that.
I know more about courts than any human being. I know more about students than anybody.
Didn't break a sweat.
I know more about Nobody knows more about that than I do. Nobody knows more about that.
I understand the tax better than almost any.
Who knows more about lawsuits than I do?
Nobody even understands it with me. It's called devaluation.
Oh God.
I understand money better than anybody.
I understand better than anybody.
Man, I love how it doesn't even end. The video just keeps going. Oh my God.
There is power in this
Yeah,
object.
I didn't even realize there
feel
were
it.
this many of these. Man, that's crazy. Nobody is trolling better than me? Well, that one's definitely true, isn't it? Yeah, wow. And maybe he actually believes it? I think that he does. Yeah. What is this here? My school just sent me this email. Your presentation should include the fundamental concepts of game design and development with the focus of incorporating DEI principles. The presentation should be tailored to be shared to a course with both undergraduate and graduate students. Well, I'm sure this is real. Either way, I mean, like, look, anybody can make something like this, right? I mean, like, what, are we gonna act like every single one of these is crazy? I mean, if it's real, it's retarded. If it's not, I'm not surprised it's fake. You know, it's that simple. Just present Dustborn? Yeah, it's that simple.
In Russia last year, 400 people were arrested for things that they said on social media.
400 people? That's a lot.
400 people. Obviously, this country is
Dan,
very
thank
different.
you.
How many people do you think were arrested in Britain for said on social media? 4,000.
Go on.
Take a guess.
I have no idea.
3,000.
Arrested for what they'd said on social media.
Yeah.
What sort of things get you
Well,
arrested?
one example I give in my show is there was a young woman from Liverpool called Chelsea Russell. And people can look this up. Her friend was killed in a car crash, a 19-year-old woman.
Right.
And she posted the lyrics of his favorite song on her Instagram. And there was a rap song, so the lyrics contained several instances of the N-word. She was arrested.
Did she have the pass?
Prosecuted, found guilty, given 500 hours.
I guess she didn't have the pass.
Community service and the fine, tagged, and for a year she was under 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. curfew.
Hard to know whether this is true.
In Britain.
In Britain.
Man, they've ruined their culture. I can't believe how much policing they have over there over what you can and can't say. I really, and curfew too. Yeah, I don't know how people put up with it over there. Because like over here in the US, like I couldn't imagine people being okay with that, right? I mean, like we had that with COVID for just a little while and people were losing their fucking minds. So it's like, if you had this now, oh my God. Yeah, I'm just going to my PDF file, getting arrested for it, then first to share a cell with them. Well, I mean, I don't know, like these arrests will continue until morale improves. This is why we're leaving NATO. I mean, I mean, this is a problem that the people that live there have to solve. I mean, the United States can't solve this problem. This is their problem. Because at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of people that are there who support this. There's enough of them that are there that support it, that let it happen. That's why it exists. It exists because there's enough people there that are okay with it. Because, like, they have elections. It's not like this is fucking a totalitarian. It's not like this isn't North Korea, right? Like, they have elections, and they're just not voting for people to give them more freedom. People are scared, yeah, so I really don't feel bad for them, right? You want to do this? That's up to you. It's nuts. They're attacking free speech 100%. I think they are, too. Yeah, they have undercover cigarette butt police to give tickets as soon as you flick it. Jesus Christ. Well, to be fair, I think that even that makes a lot more sense than arresting people for tweets, man. And it's that simple. Let's see here. Back when morons were simping for pussy and not dictators. 30. That was a really special time, wasn't it, 2019? Man, that was amazing.
Should I go that way?
You misunderstood the UK situation? My understanding is that they don't have freedom of speech there. And there are speech regulations that prevent them from expressing themselves in ways that I think are fair. And I think that those speech regulations are ridiculous. That's it. Yeah, I understand very well. No, I'm not saying I understand every single in and out of it. All I'm saying is that I think it's bad, right? I understand enough of it to know that it's bad. That's it. We have speech regulations as well? Yeah, but I agree with ours, and I think theirs are stupid. It's pretty simple. Yeah, I mean, yeah, straight up, like, that's what it is. How about research the topic first? Well, you don't need to. As soon as you see people that are getting arrested for making tweets over something that's innocuous, and it's not a call for violence or defamation or something like that, you don't need to look at anything else. That's it. Like, there you go, right? Like, there aren't people getting arrested for tweets and stuff like that here. It's relative to each country. Well, no, it is. But, like, I'm going to have my opinion on it either way. Yeah, for sure. Guess you're either really arrested for that? Yeah.
Victory is mine.
Yeah, and also, like, even if they're not arrested for that, that is what causes the police to interact with them, which means that there's some form of judicial system that moderates that behavior. So, yes, absolutely, it's still a problem. Of course it is. Why are tatters defending that? I think a lot of people, and the reason why
toxins.
A lot of people defend it is because they just don't want to have somebody else from another country attacking their country. I think that's actually the main reason. But yeah, it's literally that simple. People trying to rationalize it. Yeah, and also, like, I think that there's a lot of Europeans, and it's not really Europeans, it depends on the country, right? Like, this is the UK. There's a lot of people that live there that don't want to even accept the fact that they live in a place where they don't have freedom of speech. So they're fighting back against it because they don't want it to be true, even though it is. It's cope and denial. Yeah, exactly, right? And, yeah. And I know people in Europe like the censorship. It's always been that way. Well, if they like the censorship, then they get what they deserve, right? I think that's pretty fair. Let's see. Sometimes people want to castrate kids, think Trump and Elon are going too far. Yeah, I think that definitely this was the bridge too far for a lot of people. I agree with that broken death. I don't even know. He's looking, Hassan is looking at my chat. Well, yeah, I mean, of course, a lot of people in my chat are going to be positive about Trump. Yeah, definitely. What is this here? Hamas Piper described programming Asma as #1 political Twitch streamer, asmongold. Yeah, I didn't know this happened. I wasn't aware of this. This surprised. Yeah, guys mad? I don't know if he is or not. I think a lot of people pull up my chat and they want to complain about my chat or whatever, or what my chat's saying. I think that, like, there's a line where, like, some people in the chat do go too far, but my general opinion is that I don't really care what people chat say, and I don't take any ownership of it. And if people in my, you know, if people get mad about, like, what my chatters are saying, that's up to them, right? But it's not really going to be something I'm going to, you know, do anything as a result of, right? I'll be like, okay, there it is, but that's it. Yeah. But there are times where people do go too far, to be fair. Okay. Okay, opinion. Every opinion is okay as long as it's mine. I agree. I totally fucking agree. Yeah, people don't want to have other opinions.
There is
That looks
power
like some
in this
stupid-ass shit.
object.
Let me
I
see
can
here.
feel it.
I'll go back down, see if there's any more of these. Yeah, it looks like a lot of... Okay. Okay, guys. You got distracted? Yeah, I guess so. That's great. And I didn't get my retarded sign. Yeah, her bringing in the whiteboard. I mean, like, oh my god. Like, how much attention do you fucking need? Jesus. Yeah, with all these, this was so embarrassing. This is why you don't hold signs up anymore? Yeah, I guess so. And what is this here? ICE is offering $1,500 for every person taken into custody. That's not true. Yeah, it's not true at all. Let me see if I can make the rest of this. Extravagantly in wartime is worse than bad form. It is unpatriotic. It's from 1930. Oh, this is about Zelensky. I see now. Okay. And let's see here. I can figure out the rest of these. Yeah, I went through all pretty much the rest of these here too. No, this isn't Diddy. No, this is. I've already seen it. Yep, I've seen this before. It's not a good one. I'll tell you that. Okay. Let me make sure if I get the right version of this. Give me 1 second. Yeah, this is all right. Here we go.
It's only been in office for 6 weeks. Seems like 6 years, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And he's been going around with his cronies, touting his so-called landslide.
This is my favorite show.
Blowout win, but he won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever, and he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the fact. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the counties.
The reason why is that a lot of those people that are in, like, economically disadvantaged groups, they see a bunch of, you know, upper middle class liberal white women complaining about, like, sexism or whatever. Meanwhile, they're not able to get jobs. That's the reason. Is that it's especially, I think, you know, like, disadvantaged young men are probably some of the main ones that would vote for somebody like Trump. Absolutely. Yeah, and also, like, another factor is that a lot of young guys don't want to be ordered around and tone policed by a bunch of cat-collecting Karens. Straight up.
I'm carrying enough already.
Just don't fucking tell me what to do. It's that easy. Privileged, spoiled idiots? No, I'm being serious.
89% of the counties shifted to the right. That's a mandate. We can sit up there and play around all we want to. In 2020, Trump didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college vote. As a matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular vote, if I remember correctly, since 2004. But they did this year. So 20 years after they last won the popular vote, they won the popular vote. They won the electoral college vote. The man won every swing state. And on top of it all, 89% of the counties shifted again. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate. There's a mandate.
Well, it's a different definition of a mandate, I guess.
But the problem is that if you're the Democratic Party and you lost 49.8% to 48.3%, and you're looking at that 1.5% dip, that's an excuse for you to say,
What we did really wasn't that
Well,
bad.
some people didn't
We
show
should
up.
continue to do that.
Do you think
No,
that those-
don't continue to do that.
do you
Find a
think
new
that-
strategy.
He right. Yep, he right. Absolutely. She doesn't dare interrupt him. Yeah, the only reason he lost because the campaign in 2020 was anyone but Trump. Yeah, no doubt. And she's too biased to be a reporter. And if it was Obama instead of Kamala, would Trump have still won? Probably not. But I think Kamala Harris was a shitty candidate. I think everybody knows that. But yeah, I mean, he's right for sure. And they're also not reporters, by the way. This is just this is a show for bored housewives that drink wine all day. Really, that's what it is. Everybody knows it, and this is just what they do. Yep, she was never a reporter, exactly. Let's see here. Oh, this was weird.
I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel, and I let myself feel alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives
No fucking bosses yet.
and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. Maybe he wants to do, and maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then lived to see Donald Trump pardon those people. But I think this...
That's nice. Okay. For sure. And it's biased. Yeah, bro, like, she really...
This is a lesson. Never has to defend the United States Capitol against...
Oh, there it is. Yep. What is that? Yeah.
Donald Trump supporters. And if he does...
Who does this?
I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carry...
I hope the 13-year-old with brain cancer doesn't end up having to defend the Capitol and killing himself over having to Man, that's really, Found another one? We sure did. Where do these people come from? That's insane. Yeah, it's wicked. Yeah, how do Americans call this journalism? It's a disgrace. There's a reason why nobody trusts the media, and this is the reason why. They can't stop losing. I guess so. Yeah, it's sick. It's weird. I don't even know, like, sick, I feel like, isn't even the right word for it. It's just fucking weird, man. Let me see if I can find the rest of these two and look at them. Have I seen this?
We have to ask ourselves the question.
Oh, yeah, I did see this. Okay, never mind. And let's see here. I can find the rest of these. And you are the new media? I am? Well, I don't know about me, right? I mean, I think I'm just kind of chilling, right? But overall, and I saw this. This was funny. So...
Let me fucking see.
Amateurs imitate, professionals steal. I get it. I get it. I mean, it is and to be fair, that video did really well. It did. It did great. And so, yeah, no, I did the exact same thing. It's a great title. Really, really good idea. Abso-fucking-lutely. And it's Agent DJ now? Yeah, I guess so. Atrox said you, Joe Rogan, and Hassan are a new mass media. Well, I think that's a bit of an oversimplification. But in a general sense, I think that really mass media is changing a lot because I don't think people trust any of these news stations anymore. Whether it's people like The View that are just giving out their opinions, or whether it's people that are like, you know, like talking about like hoping a kid with brain cancer doesn't kill himself, etc. Like, it's just weird stuff, right? And I think people get tired of that and they just don't want to hear it anymore. And at least with one person, and I think this is another big factor, is that people have the perception that when it's one person talking about something, like it's just me giving my opinions on something, it's not necessarily going to be anything other than that, right? There's no like people pulling the strings behind the scenes or anything like that. It's just you're getting an honest, direct, genuine opinion without it being filtered through 4 or 5 different levels of PR, right? We don't know that. Well, I'm telling you, this is the reason why people like Joe Rogan or myself are popular, right? It's the same reason why other people like Alex Jones are popular too, is that even though Alex Jones is crazy, people believe that Alex Jones's brand of crazy is something that's authentic to himself, right? It's that simple. Independent media has a larger pool of unbiased news. I think that the difference between independent media and like mainstream media is that independent media is openly biased, whereas mainstream media is not. Mainstream media tries to present themselves like, oh, we're just presenting the facts, and then they only present one side. But I think alternative media has no problem saying, yes, this is what our viewpoint is. We're going to discuss this with people that have the same viewpoints. And I think also people have a desire to seek out other people that agree with them. And that's another reason why alternative media has gotten more popular, is because people don't always want to see an unbiased perspective on things. They want to hear it from their perspective, and they want to have their opinion get repeated to them. So that's really it. Would you go on Joe Rogan if you were invited? Yeah, I would. And the mayor's hearing already happened. Did you watch it? No, I did not. And is there a approach you trying to get a particular viewpoint or try to take you a stand? And has anybody ever tried to, so this is a great question. Has anybody ever tried to come up to me and, or not come up to me like in person, but like come to me and try to give me money in order to have some sort of a viewpoint? The answer to that is no. No. They have not. That's never happened. Now, I'm sure maybe it might have gone to like an agent or something and they just didn't send it to me. But no, I never got I never even got an opportunity to take a sponsor from a political candidate. I never got an opportunity to take a sponsor for a certain like social issue or anything like that. So no, it's never even happened, right? What's your price for it? Well, I don't know. I mean, even if it was something that I agreed with, I don't know if I would really go and do it, because it might feel inauthentic to viewers. And then if you do that at that point, then people are going to think that your opinions aren't as authentic. So I don't know if I would really go along and do that or have that opinion or not.
Temporal chains.
So I have no idea.
Anyone?
Credibility, liabilities? Yeah, exactly, right? Because I remember, like, for example, like whenever Nick did that Kamala Harris thing, people were still mad at him for that. But I think also Nick is different because Nick doesn't really do political content in general, so it was kind of something that was out of left field. But in a general sense, no, it's really not something that I would probably do, you know, at all, right? The principle of having your voice is for sale is credibility, liability. Yeah, exactly, right? So, like, why would I want to sell out my credibility or something like that just for the short term? And I thought this was also interesting, too. After the U.S. Germany also stopped the delivery of weapons to Ukraine, not because it wants to, but because the weapons are at a critical level, Germany's reached the limit of the ability to transfer weapons from its arsenals to Ukraine. Holy shit. God damn. God damn, wow. What the fuck? Yeah. I'm going to be really curious to see how this evolves, man. I don't know what this is going to be. Let me see here. I'll look at a few more of these, and then we'll look at a couple of videos, too, obviously. Let's see here. And Democrats are now laughing at a girl getting brain damage from a male assaulting her. Wait, what? "19-year-old Peyton McNabb was severely injured by a man during a volleyball game, left with a traumatic brain injury. Ha ha ha." Wait, they're why would you laugh at that? Is this real? It is. Oh my god. Who does this? She's a horrible person? I don't know. Why would you think this is like, I mean, the thing is that even if you support having them in there, how do you think that it helps your cause by laughing and celebrating somebody getting hit in the face? How do you want
30, 10:30.
All right, calm down, settle down, settle down. Who does this, man? I don't even know what to say. It's so weird. Like, how do you type something like this out and then think that somehow, like, this is a good opinion to have, or this is something that's that's worth celebrating or talking like it's good?
There is
it's
power
crazy
in
person.
this
Yeah,
object.
it's just some
I
of these
can
people
feel
have
it.
totally they've totally lost the fucking plot, man. Let's see here. Found another one? Yeah, I guess so, right? So how about those Epstein files? Yeah, who knows, right? We'll see what happens. Monster Hunter Donkey video win? Yeah, we might watch it. We'll see what happens. Probably a young person. Yeah, I don't even know who this person is at all. But, like, man, who does this? Democrats kneeled, eulogizing pressure violent criminal who died during an arrest. Oh, they're talking about George Floyd. I remember this, yeah. And, man. I'll look at a few of these.
I wonder where they think they are with the American public on this issue. You'll see them in the audience, as you saw firsthand. These Democrats, congresswomen who showed up in pink, specifically to protest President Trump's policy on women. As this is happening, we've got new polling from the New York Times on biological males in women's sports. And Peyton, when asked about thinking about transgender female athletes, meaning athletes who were born...
My honest opinion is that I'm surprised it's not higher.
Male, and then choose to be female and participate in women's sports, only 18% think that should be allowed. Nearly 80% of respondents say that should not be allowed. So why do they think, Democrats, think that they're speaking for the people on this issue by protesting fairness in women's sports?
Because they're retarded. Yeah. That's the reason why. I mean, it's that simple.
Again, the Democrats have proven how out of touch they really are. I mean, like you said, 80% of the country agrees with this across all party lines. So for them to be willing to die on this hill just to push this agenda.
I honestly think that this should be the main issue that they push in the midterm elections. Because this issue, the thing with this issue is this is like a flat earth level issue. Is that if you're supporting this and you're okay with this, you have completely left the realm of reality. And I think that, like, in the same way that you would never trust a person who believes in flat earth, right? Because it's like this person's mental facilities are clearly compromised. I think this is the same thing. This should be the main point. And until this is totally resolved, that's the only thing that matters. Because this is, and the reason why is that it's so relatable to an average voter. Like, every average voter knows the difference between, like, an average man and an average woman. This is just an observable difference that's seen by everyone all the time. So you don't trust Bernie anymore? I don't know what that's. Bernie doesn't even talk about this. Bernie doesn't give a fuck about this, right? Like, that's not even it. But yeah, it's about the entire package of the bill. I think that enough of them have supported this for this to be a main issue as well.
Is absurd. And
he voted on it?
Last night, I thought that the pink suits and everyone matching was real cute when, of course, the day before, 0 Democrats voted for the protection of women and girls. And then 0 Democrats stood and applauded when I was getting recognized for my injury, because, like Raleigh said, I mean, they couldn't be more anti-woman, and frankly, they are anti-American. They really embarrassed themselves all night, and it was.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, basically, you look at these numbers, right? And I think this should be the main issue that they push on. Because I think that you can win on you can win on identity politics, I think, by itself. Because so many people are tired of it. And I think that Trump is a pretty good example of that. And especially with like some of these like really weird lines in the sand that people draw. And that's it. Right? Shit like this sways. Yeah, shit like this. Like this radicalizes moderate people when they see something like this happen. A lot of Democrats voted for it too, though. Well, I don't know exactly. The image might be misleading. I'm not sure exactly for specifics, but what I'm saying is that for this issue, I think this issue should be front and center. It absolutely should be. Let me see here, and I'll look at a couple of these. This is why I left the party. Wearing pink is just another useless virtue signal. Oh, God. Yeah, I actually saw, look at this. Trump ran before and changed the game plan and party. They should, too. Yeah, I just think it's a big mistake. Here we go.
Say, well, thank you, Simone.
Sorry.
Can we talk about it?
The bingo signs were killing me. I don't know who thought up the bingo signs, but they should be fired.
Michael, this is an indictment.
Thank God. Thank God. He's right. It's ridiculous. They look so stupid. It's ridiculous. It's virtue signally. It's performative. It's annoying.
In my opinion, on the Democratic leadership.
100%.
I talked to a lot of members
100%.
during they was texting. The staff were on my phones and they were calling. And I think the best way to describe it is the Democratic leadership said they didn't want disruptions and they wanted people to attend and bring a guest, and they wanted, little business as usual, and we're fighting back in other ways. There is a palpable disgust, as Claire said, from not just the members, but their constituents. And it's like a pot, as someone described it to me, that's boiling, and it's about to bubble over. If you do not allow the members a space to release valve, it's going to bubble over. And this was the members the visuals are not taking back the House in 2026.
No, they're not. There's no way, because they focus on a bunch of bullshit that people don't like. The issue is that, like,
all right, pack it up.
They care about these like really radical, like super extreme, like social issues, and that's it. She's speaking the truth. No, she's right. Listen again.
Fighting back in other ways. There is a palpable disgust, as Claire said, from not just the members, but their constituents.
Yeah.
And it's like a pot, as someone described it to me, that's boiling, and it's about to bubble over. If you do not allow the members a space to release valve, it's going to bubble over. And this was the members the visuals are not taking back the House in 2026. Not these.
People say Democrats do not care about radical, extreme social issues. You liar. Everybody can see it. The emperor has no clothes, and everybody knows it. Everybody's seeing this. It's obvious that it's happening. Which retard said that? I don't know. Gaslight people into... You're not going to gaslight people into thinking that what they are seeing every day...
Catch you on the flip side, Jesse.
Forensic! Oh, no. No.
Even them, they're like, this is fucking ridiculous.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about the moment for me, that for folks, if you really want to understand the difference between Republican control and Democratic acquiescence, it's in how two things happened in that chamber and how they were handled. When Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert stood up and showed their behinds on the House floor, all right? When they just act a fool, shouting and talking and being loud and disruptive, what happened?
They stayed.
They stayed. Democrats didn't threaten them. Democrats didn't tell them to sit your behind down and shut up, right? Order in the House.
Well,
what happened?
What should the Democrats done?
But what happened tonight?
Well, what should have happened tonight?
What should have?
He's right.
Do us proud.
Is that kicking him out shows that you're in charge?
I'm done waiting for this city to change.
It does, especially when somebody's wilding out like that. Yeah, he's correct, because, like, yeah, it's outrageous. Nobody wants to see that in there the whole time.
But it'll be war in the streets.
What happened
That's
then
example, yeah.
is what happened tonight.
Do you feel in charge?
Because the Republicans
Yeah.
weren't coming to play. They weren't going to give the Democrats the quarter. They knew what they were going to do. They knew they were going to try to be disruptive in some form.
Yeah,
and their goal was to shut it down in one of two ways. And both of them worked. USA, as if we own,
Yeah.
they own that, that moniker.
Well, they kind of do. I mean, like, and this has been the messaging that's happened for a long time, is that a lot of people, I think, are tired of anti-American messaging and the constant calls back to the bad actions and the bad behaviors of America in the past. And I think that people dislike the feeling of like original sin, of like America's so bad, America's so awful. And I think that's also another component of why a lot of people are moving towards being more isolationist too. It's because if all of these other countries think America is actually this shithole full of retarded rednecks, then why are we giving them money constantly? Let's stop giving money to people that constantly don't like us and say bad things about us. And I think that's one of the reasons why that shift is happening. And that's why the America chant works so well. That's exactly it. And I don't think that the thing is that a lot of these commentators, they don't really understand how people think. They understand how, maybe a focus group tells them that people think. But there's something about it, like, and I guess for me, this is one thing, is like, I like doing what I do and streaming every day, and there's a lot of people in chat all the time. I see how people react to things. And like, I've also just grown up and like, I've had pretty much kind of an average life, I would say. I went to public school, I had friends, I went to parties in college, went to college. Like, I had a very, very average life, and I had a pretty wide, breadth of friends growing up, and, even as an adult I do. And so, really, like, I think a lot of these people are so separated from the general public that when they're watching these shows and they're doing these shows, they never actually, there's no chat stream. They're not reading feedback about their show. And the problem is that when you don't read feedback and you don't listen to what people are saying, what happens is that you increasingly become more and more distorted from what average people really think. And so I spend hours every day reading what people think. I read about, like, what are people saying? What is this sentiment? And also, like, figuring out how to distill down what does this sentiment really mean? Because I think that, like, you can even do this, and this is a much bigger topic, so I don't want to, like, go super deep into it. But, like, I'll give you, like, an example, right? Is that a lot of cases where there's like any sort of a god figure in like a religion, many cases of this god figure being in a religion, the god figure is somehow of a virgin birth, or the god figure destroyed its father or something like that. And that's because the idea of God, of like, being a deity, is something that is existing inside of a patriarchy. So you want to have, that's what all of these old religions existed into. And so you have an example of this. True, you're right. No, think about it. Think about all the examples of this being true. And I'll show you what my point is. My point is that if you see this parallel happening with all of these different groups of people, and you see people all over the world that have this same viewpoint, you can distill down a core human behavior and a core human thinking functionality. That's really what it is. And so when you're reading things like this all of the time, you get to understand what people and how people really think. And the problem is that either these people refuse to, they won't accept, or they simply can't identify how average people think. And that's the problem. And that's why the USA chants have worked so well. That's exactly it. And also because a lot of people view the United States as being a great country, and this is like, patriotic, etc. But when a lot of these people say this, they'll bring up bad things that the U.S. has done, which are all true, by the way. But every country has bad things that they've done. It doesn't mean you should be ashamed of your country. Kind of crazy how chanting USA is decided with one, is associated with one side. Yeah, but you can see why that's the case, right? Like, and that's the entire point. Like, you can see why it's happening. Now, you cannot, the thing is that, and this is a big topic, right, is that you don't necessarily have to agree with it in order to understand why it's happening. Like, for example, I think that there's a lot of people, I got in trouble with this, but I said I think that it makes a lot of sense that some people become terrorists in the Middle East, right? I think it makes sense given the way that they grow up and their experiences. You can see how, you know, this chain of events, these dominoes fall, and then a person ends up in this place. That doesn't mean that I'm justifying their behavior. It doesn't mean I'm saying that it's good that they're doing it. All I'm saying is that it's easier to understand why a person is doing something. It's the same way that you can reverse engineer a lot of serial killers and look at common variables with serial killers. It's easy. Very, very easy and simple and honest to do, right? And you can do that with anything. That's fair. The best way to stop terrorism is prevention. Well, the best way to stop anything is by understanding what it is. If you can't understand where something came from, then you can't get rid of it. Here's a great example. How many of you guys have had a computer problem and you don't know what actually is causing the problem, but you have like some secondary solution to it that you can do that will solve the problem, right? Exactly, yeah, but you can't really solve it. How come Japanese never had terrorists attacking the U.S.? They got nuked? Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I think that there was one element of, you know, there was like that one Japanese terrorism event, right? That was not so good. But the point is that with these people or with anything else, like, you have to understand why people think something. Class inequality has been perpetuated by the far right, and you stroke their penis as they make it worse. This is like, I mean, look, I'm not going to ban you for that one, but you've really got to dial it down, okay? Like, stroking your penises, they make it worse. I agree with you, but the problem is that the class inequality is a massive issue, but I'm gonna level with you. I'm gonna say it just the way it is. People are so fucking retarded, but that understanding graphs, math, variables, and data discrepancies, the Gini index, and average income versus mean income versus median income, these types of thinking are not accessible to enough voters for it to be compelling to change an election. What I'm saying is that the people are retarded. They're retarded, but they can understand the difference between a man and a woman. That's it. You might not like the answer, but I sure as fucking hell think it's true.
USA, as if they own that, you know, that moniker, and throw them out.
I guess you mean what should have the Democrats done instead of
throwing them out?
No, I'm talking about tonight.
He's right. He's right. Strength is respected.
What should the Democrats have done tonight instead of what they did?
Some of us believe they shouldn't have shown up. Or if they showed up at a certain point, here's the deal. When the congressman was kicked out, half that room should have left with him. Because that was the point. He was the only one to stand up and say, I'm not going to...
I think he's cooking. I do. I think that would have been a much more effective way of doing it. He's not wrong. Yeah, I think he is.
I'll sit here and let you lie in this chamber. I'm not going to let you get away with this because you're lying.
My point is also, like, some people are like, no, he's not. He's wrong. Like, Democrats are bad. It's not about whether he's right or wrong. It's about whether that method of protest would have been more effective. And I think the answer to that is yes. Hopefully people can separate the two things.
Right now. And instead of calling the man a lie, like they did to Barack Obama.
I remember, I was there.
Right?
And nothing happened.
And what happened then?
Didn't he got a pat on the wrist afterwards? I think there's...
Well, it was a lot different back then. That was a long time ago. That's over 10 years ago, right? But, like, yeah. And I think he's wrong because it would have been more effective to stay quiet. And then when the Americans in the gallery being honored, they stand and clap. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that maybe that would have been better. Maybe it wouldn't have been. I'm not sure. To be fair, I like the other guy's demeanor because he stood up for what his idea and got himself kicked. But his ideals and he was calm and articulated. No, I think that that's fine. But what I'm saying is that when one guy gets kicked out and everybody else doesn't leave with him, it does mean that you're not showing a degree of solidarity, and not showing that solidarity does actually make you look weak. I think that's the point that I'm making, really, is that, like, solidarity and strength in numbers matters the most. Let me see here. We'll look at the... What is this shit?
And we don't turn it over to him. And we don't know everything that Elon Musk has done with his high technology act. We don't know what he's been accused of by some, as it may relate to the election. But we're not going to give up in investigating and finding it, turned it over to him. And we don't know everything that Elon Musk has done with his high technology act. We don't know what he's been accused of by some, as it may relate to the election.
How the tables turn. Yeah, bro, like...
And we're not going to give up.
Oh my fucking god, yeah. Wow. Well, I don't know what to say, fucking hypocrites. Yeah, that was the one thing. I realized this in 2016 with the Russia interference. You guys know that we're never going to have a new, we're never going to have an election from now on that isn't going to be somehow rigged. Like, every election from now on is going to be rigged. Yeah, somehow there's some way somebody's cheating. They're buying votes. They're paying people to vote. They paid the voting machine company. There's always some sort of external reason why this is happening. Yeah, get rid of elections. Well, that would solve the problem, right? Yeah, Elon cheated in POE and Diablo. He must have cheated in the election too. I guess so, right? Always has been? Yeah, it was. And when was their election that was not rigged? I think one of the only elections that wasn't rigged was the first one. Like, the first election in history was probably not rigged, and then the people that lost that first election, they didn't like how that went down, and they didn't like how they lost, and then so every election after that was rigged. They're like, yeah, we can't let this happen again. So yeah, I do think that there was probably the first election ever wasn't rigged, but then after that, things probably changed. So yeah, it was probably rigged. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see here. I'll see if there's anything else that's already worth looking at here, and I'll go through this. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, this is a man. Who I just it's so shocking for me to see this. There's no Egyptians invented taxes? No, I didn't know that. The solution's open voting where people can check their vote. Well, it doesn't matter is what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is that if you are the kind of person who thinks that the voting is fake and everything like this is fake, you're just going to invent new reasons for why it's okay to do that. It's not like you can just like, oh, well, I'm just going to go and, you know, invent this or like not invent it. Like, you're like, you can't reason with a person who's unreasonable. So you basically, you can't use logic and argumentation to stop a person. Like, for example, like, if you put a person in, you know, like a flat earth person in an airplane and you fly them really high up where they can see the curvature of the earth, they're going to say that's somehow fake too. These people will always move the goalposts and they will never accept that they're wrong. That's it. They will never do that. That's false. I believe some voter fraud exists. Example, why does California make IDing for voting illegal? I don't know. I mean, I think that's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous that they don't have voter ID, but I don't know. It's a very, very weird situation. Let me see here, and I'm going to go back over and find some more of these too. Probably just said it happens. Well, I don't know. I'm sure it happens to a degree. I mean, how much does it happen? It's very hard to say.
I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. and to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation. And we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Man.
In January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13
It's so obvious why there's more people trying to join the military now. It's so obvious.
American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Why? The real reason why, okay, you want to know the real reason why, is that people want, who is joining the military? Young guys that are mostly aggressive. Young, aggressive men. And so if you have, and poor guys in a lot of cases, yep, you're right, poor guys, and if they see somebody like Pete Hegseth, who's a young guy, comparatively, that works out, that's got a bunch of fucking tattoos of like the Crusades on him, that energy is what they want to follow. It's that simple. That's the kind of person that a young, aggressive guy wants to follow.
What the fuck?
There it is.
And tonight I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity.
Jesus Christ.
Now, for the first
Are you
time
fucking
in modern
serious?
history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact,
members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Uh-oh.
Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America?
Yep.
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
He starts pointing at him.
Hi, there you go. President Trump gave a historic address on the House floor, longest speech ever for State of the Union.
That was crazy. Like, that went on for 2 hours. Like, I called my dad after he finished, and my dad, first thing he said is like, holy shit, is he done? That took a long time.
Union or an address to a joint session of Congress. I'm live for our nation's capital, and it is, I believe, we need a second source. It is Ash Wednesday. I'd like to take this time to say hello to my 3 anchors back in New York.
Thank you very much, Brian. If today's Ash Wednesday, that means yesterday was Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, and a big celebration in that big round white building behind you, Brian.
Since when did Fat